Hello everyone, it's Anmodit Kumar. Welcome to Key Concepts. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the difference between VLDC and PMSM motor. So before starting the today's lecture, first we recall some key concepts that we discussed in our last lecture. So we know that PMSM and VLDC motors comes under the AC synchronous motor family. It means these two motors are basically AC synchronous motor. Okay, so we discussed this point in our last lecture. Then we discussed that what are the conventions followed by motor industry or motor manufacturers and design or industrial expert. Why we are studying these conventions to understand that how in motor industry or a design expert categorize these two motors. And why is it important? When you have some motor and that it has some data sheet which is provided by motor manufacturers, and if they mention some concept like BLDC and PMSM, so what actually it means? So we have to understand what they understand with respect to which facts. Okay, the first is the nature of back EMF, and another is the phase excitation, the number of phase excitation. So we studied that if the motor having trapezoidal back EMF, that is called BLDC motor, and if the motor having sinusoidal back EMF, that is called PMSM motors. The another section we discussed that if the motor having two phase excitation, it is called BLDC, and if the motor having three phase excitation, that is so called PMSM. So I got some comment that we don't know or we don't understand the concept of excitation. Basically, excitation means that how you energize your phases or how much phase you energize. So two phase energization or excitation, that means that at any time only two phases are energized and one phase is not energized. Okay, you're not energizing one phase, just two phases are in active condition and the one phase is not energized. Okay, and when we talk about the three phase energization, it means that the motor having three phase and we are energizing all the possible three phase. When we consider sinusoidal motor, so what we can see, it has three phases and all the three phases are actively any moment of time. All three phases are energized. Okay, and that does not happen on VLDC. So in VLDC only two phases are active condition. So in VLDC only two phases are at any moment of time. Let's start today's lecture. So we start with one question: why we called VLDC motor as a brushless direct current motor? So what are the major reason behind it to call it as a DC motor or a direct current motor? The first we discuss why these motors are so called direct current motor, and then later we discussed why we use brushless term with this motor. The main reason behind to call BLDC motor as a DC or brushless direct current motor as a DC motor is that BLDC reflects the characteristics of brushed DC motor. What is the characteristics? The input voltage and speed characteristics are very much similar to brushed DC motor. That's the only reason why we called BLDC motor as a DC motor, because this reflects the characteristics of brushed DC motor. Now I think so I cleared my point that why it's called direct current motor. The another point we are going to discuss why we need electronic commutation in DC motor. Then only we can call it as a brushless direct current motor. Do animation to describe you the basic operation of DC motor. In the first animation, what you can see, these brushes are provide like physical contact with commutators, and then commutators are connected with the bindings, armature bindings. DC motor, we have a armature winding that is actually a rotor, and we have a field winding, actually that's the stator. In picture we didn't describe it in a proper way. So when we talk about the DC field winding, it means like it has some coil on the field or at the stator. Okay, some DC supply is there. Okay, the same way in another pole also we have some DC supply. So direction of current decides the polarity. Okay, and this is our armature, and that is rotatory part, and these are called brushes. If you see in a proper way, these are called brushes, these are a stationary part. Okay, and this is called commutator, and that is rotatory part, and these bindings are connected with these commutator. Okay, so once we feed DC power supply, so basically we connect these terminals with some DC power supply current, and it reaches to brush, both brush. So it reaches to brush, and due to commutation it converts that DC to AC or a alternating current, and that particular DC to AC conversion are done by mechanical commutator. So in a if we can say in a single word that it convert DC to AC. Okay, that's the major reason why we are called commutators. Why we need commutator? Because we know that for any motor operation, at least we need one time varying flux. If we don't having the flux that is vary with respect to time, motor will not operate. Okay, so now you get some basic idea related to how any type of DC motor operates. Now you can see that the DC motor uses mechanical commutation, and mechanical commutation required brushes and commutator, and these are basically a mechanical device or a mechanical it's a mechanical device, and these provide physical contact with brushes, provide physical contact with rotors, and as you can see that the brushes are basically decayed while operating for the long time. So it has some life because it directly connected with the moving body, so the friction causes the decaying the life of brushes. So what are the limitations that comes with the DC motor? At the brushes terminal, you can see in animation there spark is happening. Okay, and these sparks are causes not to use these motor the place where highly flammable equipments or the materials are kept. So you can consider the gas stations, the petrol pumps, and various like highly flammable places where we can't permit these motor to operate. So that's the major reason why we need the motor without any mechanical commutation, and the mechanical commutation required frequent maintenance. So that's the one more reason we need brushless direct current motors. And when we start discussing about the brushless direct current motor or a brushless, if we are using DC motor, we need to provide DC to AC conversion. Okay, and how we are doing this? By using electronic commutation. So electronic commutation is nothing, it just act like a DC to AC conversion. And how it's happening? Now you can see we have some MOSFETs. And these MOSFETs gate are connected with PWM signal of MCUs. Each gate are connected with MCUs, PWM pin of MCUs. Here you can see the complete picture of one electronic commutation. As you can see, this is one microcontroller. We have this particular circuit. I elaborated in this form. So in this whole circuit is in this block diagram. Okay, and here you can see it has pulse width modulation signals to different MOSFET. Here you can see the 6 pulse width modulation signals coming from MCU, and based on that particular signal we decide these phases, which phase to energize and which phase to de-energize. So these all decisions are taken by providing the PWM signal through the MCU. Okay, so that's the basic information related to the electronic commutation. So let's see the definition. The electronic commutation is basically borrowed from the mechanism in DC. So basically the commutation word actually comes from the mechanical commutation, and commutation actually referred to convert DC current into AC current. Okay, and when we use electronic commutation, that means it's required some circuitry or a same type of behavior which is done by mechanical commutation. Okay, so how we are doing this? We have some controllers and we switch the currents in each binding at optimum time period. It means based on our requirement, if the motor have a 3-phase, so which phase I need to energize or which phase I need to de-energize, that all decision is taken by MCU PWM signals. So this way we can control the whole motor operation without any mechanical commutation. So now you can see the basic working of VLDC motor. VLDC motor having 2-phase energization. The 2-phase energization, it means at any moment of time only 2 phases are energized. As you can see in the animation, at any moment of time only 2 phases are active. So at any moment of time only 2 phases are energized, and the same way only the 2 MOSFETs are active. Okay, so that's why it's called doubly excited system. Now we understand the basic construction and working of VLDC motor. As you can see in our DC motor, field winding is actually at a stator. It's not a rotatory part, and while seeing it in a DC motor, we have a field winding, and that doesn't have any type of field binding at the rotor. It having a permanent magnet, and it's a rotatory part, it's not a stationary part. We have armature, and that armature is not a rotatory part. The armature which is a stator in VLDC. So this is the basic difference between DC and AC by their construction. When we talk about the working principle of this motor, how VLDC will operate. So as you can see that at any moment of time the 2 phases are energized, and while doing this the motor creates internally the one magnetic field, 2 magnetic field. The one is having with permanent magnet and another magnetic field that is generated by energizing the 2 phases. So once we energize our binding, armature binding, it creates the polarity. As you can see, the red one is south pole and north one is. While creating these 2 polarities, we create some attraction and repulsion process, and these attraction and repulsion causes motor to rotate. So that's the basic working principle, and how we energize these two motors that I discussed earlier in a commutation. So which phase I need to energize, that decision we can take through the MCUs. Another one more major concept that I want to discuss, that right side you may see that there is one animation. Okay, what this animation describe, that at any moment of time which is stationary having one polarity N, and the rotor which is rotating, and that's a field actually, and it has one polarity of N, and both are synchronized and both are mutually attracted, so in which way they can rotate with the speed of synchronous. So that's why these motors are called synchronous. Once you know about the synchronous motor, that synchronous motor always having the relative speed between rotor and stator is zero. They all are running with same speed. So this is the basic difference between DC and VLDC motor. So the VLDC motor actually a synchronous motor that operates at a synchronous speed. If we consider one RPM, like the rotor is rotating with the speed of 300 RPM. So we have to set your electronic commutation in such a way that you can achieve electrical speed to meet the 300 RPM mechanical rotation of the rotor. So electrically you have to achieve 300 RPM electrically, so that you can meet the mechanical locking concept or mutual attraction concept. Okay, so that's the major requirement for running the synchronous motor. What is the basic difference between the construction of these two motors? Whatever the points we discussed. What we discussed in the DC motor, the rotor is actually armature, and that is a rotatory part, and we have a stator which is having a field winding, and that will be energized by the direct current. Okay, so we use some sources, power DC sources to maintain the polarity of NNS. Okay, once we see the construction of VLDC motors, we can see that the stator is actually an armature winding. The armature winding is a non-moving part, and the rotor, which is a field winding, we can't say it is a field winding, we can say it as a field, and that is having a permanent magnet. It doesn't have any winding, it doesn't have any type of winding. Just permanent magnets are mounted on the field, and that will provide a main flux. Okay, the main field will be provided by the permanent magnet. So this is, if you can see, it is very much similar to the synchronous motor. Even though the synchronous motor having the field winding, that's the only difference between VLDC and normal synchronous motor. But while using this permanent magnet, we can say this motor having a permanent magnet, so we can call it as a permanent magnet, and it's a synchronous motor, so we can call it as a permanent magnet synchronous motor. But still, persons are not calling it as a permanent magnet. It's called to be brushless direct current motor. Now you can see, if the construction is totally different, how we can call, and the working principle is also different, how we can say this motor is a direct current motor. This is not practically a right convention, but we still follow that convention. So now you're getting very much clear idea why calling any motor as a VLDC motor or a DC motor, it's a wrong statement. It's a synchronous motor, it's not a DC motor, but still we are using the terminology of VLDC. The only reason behind that, we following this convention such a very long time, and everyone is aware of that. So we just accepted this conventions. So we have some questions, that are you still thinking that the VLDC motor is a DC motor? While discussing all those concepts, still are you realizing that the VLDC motor is a DC motor? Please write your view in a comment so I can understand your point. If you have any valid point, let me know, so I will try to justify your question. So if you have any question, just let me know in the comment below this video, so I just try to understand your point of view. If you are wrong, I will make you correct. Another question that whether we can call it this motor as a brushless permanent magnet motor or a permanent magnet synchronous motor. You may write the answers in comment below. We will be discussing all those questions in our last lecture. Once we complete this session, you may get a very close idea related to these two questions, but still I am expecting some reply from your side, how much you understand, how these lectures benefits you, or is these lectures are providing any benefit to you. So in the next lecture I am going to see what are the concepts of synchronous motor, where I am going to discuss more about the construction and working principle of synchronous motor, and then I am going to discuss about the working principle of the permanent magnet synchronous motor, how three phases are energized, to discuss about the working principle of the PMSM motor, so how these motors are actually operates, how these three phase energizations happens. So all those concepts I am going to discuss in this session, and then finally we conclude whatever the key concept we studied in our last lecture. So mostly we are going to have 3 lectures on basic session about the terminology related to VLDC and PMSM. Okay, and then at last we have some question session. So thanks for watching my video. It's really very helpful if you provide any review related to my video, whether it is useful for you or not. If you find these content useful, please like my video and subscribe my channel, so that will motivate me. I will put more effort on preparing these content, and that will benefit you. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you.